This country's in debt to private banks. Nobody asks, who are we in debt to? We just pay through the nose. 45 billion each year in interest, and the debt still grows. But it's a small price to pay to dismantle Canada. First it's healthcare, education, land and trees. Eventually they'll even own our bumblebees. Privatization, it's our national disease. While the debt still grows, but it's a small price to pay to dismantle Canada. They've got a ministry they call Dismantle Canada, with a minister who never takes our calls. The private banks report billions in record profits, while the debt still rolls. They're pleased as punch to dismantle Canada. Alright, let's start dismantling. Well, I mentioned healthcare and education. That's a couple of big ones. And when the price of oil went up to $50 a barrel, Paul Martin sold off Petro-Canada. No money to be made holding on oil stocks, was there? In Ontario Hydro, well, they didn't exactly privatize it. They just broke it up, leased out the energy transmission portion to private interests. We still get stuck with the nuclear waste and the debt. And Highway 407, built and paid for by the Ontario taxpayers. Now we get to pay a private company to drive on it. Sweet. And the Skydome, that cost $650 million. Ted Rogers picked it up at a steal for 25. Too bad you can't take it with you. Anyways, so the hyenas are circling and drooling for the oil of the 21st century, Canada's precious fresh water. They call it a natural resource. I call it a human right. Use the Bank of Canada to finance what we need and stop supporting private bankers' greed. We'd be running a surplus and get to keep our country too. Woohoo! What a concept! But it's a small price to pay to get out of getting screwed. This country's in debt to private banks. Nobody asks, who are we in debt to? We just pay through the nose. 45 billion each year in interest, and the debt still grows. Use the Bank of Canada to finance what we need. Use the Bank of Canada to finance what we need. Interest-free infrastructure loans. Can you say that with me slowly one time? Interest-free infrastructure loans. So that the $45 billion that Canadians are paying each and every year to the private banks can be spent on something good, like Canadians.